I'm Tracy. These are my kids.
Hello, I'm Jack. I'm Anda.
We're here in Durango, Colorado, living in our tiny house right downtown. We've been here, I think, 3.5 years, but time's kind of passing by and I'm not keeping track anymore. We call this the Red Mountain. It was built by Rocky Mountain Tiny Houses here in Durango, Colorado, and we call it the Red Mountain because it has 3 peaks, just like the old Red Mountain Pass. The old barnwood and the rusted out iron, we kind of think of it as our in-town mining shack. So come on in and take a tour. Welcome to the kitchen area. This is probably the busiest place in our house, even though you don't really move to another room. It's where a lot of action happens, and you can tell by all the stuff we have in here. All of my cabinets were custom made. I got to design them. A great guy named China made inlaid beetle kill wood for me, chalkboard, doors, a folding table, which in the end we never fold down because we need it. Got my washer and dryer, which is super great, but I tell you, when that washer starts spinning, the whole house starts shaking. Which is funny and a pain because it actually makes screws and nails and things start popping out after a number of years of shaking. But I wouldn't be able to survive without a washer and dryer. A full-size fridge. Lots of cabinetry to keep lots of food. Gas stove. A full sink. And a great spice rack they put into my wall that I love. The bathroom is a super important part of the house, and I wanted to make sure that we had a comfortable space and that, you know, you're in it every day. So this is actually an acrylic standing tub, and it is as light as a feather. I mean, you can pick it up right now. So it didn't add a lot of weight to the tiny house. But we can take baths, and it's super awesome. And I have a garden window, which again just opens up the house, gives you lots of light. More places for plants. The plants love it in here. And this is one of my favorites. The coolest thing about tiny houses is you're kind of buying one of everything, so you go for it. I got this handmade copper sink. Picked out all my tiles, had handmade cabinetry made with the same barnwood as outside. So all this stuff is made to my liking. We have an actual flushing toilet. Once again, being in a trailer park, you kind of have to abide by certain rules, but in the end, I am so glad I'm not dealing with a compost toilet. So yeah, it's great. It's super light. It's not huge, but it feels roomy. And in the morning when we're getting ready for school, all 3 of us are in here. So this is our couch area. It's probably the one place I wish I had more room in the tiny house, honestly. We all 3 sit on this couch sometimes. It's pretty funny. This is what we do. So I'm a single mom. I, support my family on my own. I am a bookkeeper, a landscaper. I take care of some Airbnbs. I clean them, I host them, I property maintain them. I substitute teach. Pretty much do anything that allows me to be a mom first. Do a lot of work out of my house and keep my own hours so that I'm always available to my kids. I've never had childcare. I don't think I've even had a babysitter before in my life.
One. One babysitter.
One babysitter, your grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
not grandma. At grandma's house.
Oh God, one single night.
Ta-da.
See that? 11 years, man. One night he could remember a babysitter. Building a tiny house is a lot of fun because you have to create a lot of spaces to put things away. And 3 years ago, this was a super organized space and everything was all tucked in. And as the years go by, I think you just keep adding and accumulating. I'm obviously a book collector. I keep my books up against the wall, and all three of us have all our clothes right there. So got to keep that nice and limited and seasonal, that sort of thing. But yeah, these are the stairs. They were custom built, and like how they turn this way, so you kind of get a walk up the stairs up to the loft where my daughter and I sleep. Three years ago, this was our only bed. All three of us slept in it, and as my son has been growing, he's had to get a new bed over there. But we still see each other across the way, and now it's my daughter and I's bed. We got a skylight, which is so important because sometimes when the ceiling's so low, you know, you feel a little bit like, oh, I'm in a cave. But the skylight's awesome. We can see the stars at night. Definitely hear the rainfall. Then this is all of our like folded clothing. We each have a section again for folding up clothes, socks, undergarments, that sort of thing. And I get another space. So the top of this shelf is once again my space. I've been collecting things all my life and in my travels, and it's super important for me to still have all those things to connect with, and also to be able to kind of create spaces that remind me of the places I've been. And again, more books, all that good stuff, and the books lead up to my son's room, the loft upstairs. Welcome to the Kids Loft. It started as just a play space, and they do get to have a TV. My son has a little computer up here. All the amenities of childhood are here, all their collections of books and stuffed animals and things for them to do. They each get a shelf. My son has this area. My daughter has this area. I try to keep them as separate as possible, so again, that everyone in the house has a very personal space, even though we share everything. And then this is my son's bed. He got it just about a year ago because the queen bed was maxing out. We couldn't sleep anymore, and so he's got his space. He's going to turn into a teenager here, so you know, eventually it'll be really important for him to have this. Maybe we'll build a wall. I don't know. See what he needs. All of my windowsills were custom made. They made each one of them and made a little mountain range above that one. Just fun little touches that again you get to do when you're building tiny and everything is a minimum. You can spend the money to make it awesome. For over a decade I lived in Thailand and met their father there and had a couple babies, and when my son got to be school aged, I felt like, you know, we need to come back to the States and try to get him in school and activities and give him some more opportunity in life. I grew up here in Durango. My parents are still here. My brothers are still here. And I kind of figured the only place on this earth, or I should say in the US, that I could come back to at 45 years old and having a penny to my name was Durango. We lived on my brother's trout farm. We spent a good like 6 months in his yurt on the side of the hill, which was actually a bigger space than this, but it was very primitive. We didn't have any amenities. Then we came back to town, lived with my parents, got crazy with the parents, and so we went back to the farm and we lived in a office space that was really similar to this. It was just one long room above a greenhouse. The winter hit and it was too cold to stay there, so we came back to town, moved in with my parents again, and I thought to myself, this is just not gonna work. We're not gonna survive this. It's, you know, love my family, but you just really can't come back and move into their life when you've been absent so long. So I thought for so long, I looked at rentals, I looked at land, I thought about yurts, I thought about leaving, going back to Thailand where I actually do have a home. And then I started looking into tiny houses. When we moved in here, it was so so wonderful to finally have my own space in Durango. We're right in town, right on the river. It's a beautiful island. My son plays hockey across the street. They go to school a mile down. Yeah, it's turning out perfect. This is the entryway to our tiny house. It's a custom-made door that's kind of my pride and joy. I had a local guy make it, and I think it made a really nice entrance to our home. And you come in and this is it. This is the mudroom. This is where 3 of us have to put our shoes and our hats and our coats and everything that we wear outside. So it's a really challenging zone. It's always busy. So I got a cool rack that helps hang everything up and put hooks up, and just so we can get everything off the floor. And then this is the one piece of furniture that I got to keep from my life before Tiny. It's kind of our little magical zone. My daughter and I created a little fairy garden. Since I'm a single mom, I do most of my work at home. So it was really important to me when I built the tiny house that I had a super comfortable, light zone where I could keep all my work and be on a computer, but still feel like I was, you know, enjoying life and seeing some sunshine. So again, it just gets busier as the years go by, but this is my desk and my zone. And underneath, we have 2 cats. There's Rumbletum. This is where I keep a litter box and food for them. And, you know, one of the challenges of being tiny is you don't get to like take things out of a room. You kind of got to keep them right with you, but this has worked out well for years, and you just got to keep the litter box really clean. We spend a lot of time in our tiny house in the winter, and you know, always challenged to find activities that we can do and to be happy inside. So we have this awesome puzzle board, and I tell you, there's always a puzzle going on. And yeah, you got to maneuver around it, but it's great, and it has all these drawers to keep your puzzle pieces in, and so it can be out at all times, and it's great for the kids. This is my daughter's desk. She gets to have this area for all of her creative works and that sort of thing, and a little shelf for herself. And as you can see, I am a plant fiend, so everywhere you look in my house there's plants, and most specifically I grow orchids. And I have to say, tiny houses are probably the most amazing environment to grow orchids in. Having this great standing gas stove keeps our house really warm, but also provides moisture. Moisture is a great thing for my plants. I have an air purifier that helps me deal with keeping the air clean inside. In the summertime, we have lots of ventilation because it's beautiful, and you open all your windows and the air just flows through. In the wintertime, it's all closed up, and you know, you kind of start feeling it.
I want to stay in this house forever, but I want to go to like an open land with more land and
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure. What do you think, Anda? You always tell me that you want a horse with a meadow and a barn and a river, but guess what? She wants to bring the tiny with us, so. No one says, oh, Mom, I wish that we had a big house. Everyone pretty much feels like this has been a good thing for us. Yeah. My kids super happy here, and I'm super happy here. And I think that, you know, tiny house living isn't just a young people or young couple kind of living. You know, it can accommodate families and family lifestyles, and, you know, keep life affordable. Get to have fun in life, and that's because of tiny houses. So thanks for coming.
See ya later.
Bye.